Hello and welcome to France 24's weekly music show. I'm Marjorie Hache. Now, autumn is upon us here in France and the classical music scene has a lot of exciting events to offer. We also have Franco-American opera singer Amelia Feuer. Amongst others, she's part of the trio Lucia and founded the festival Les Femmes, Oubliées, the festival of unforgotten women, whose aim is to give back credit to women composers whose art has been attributed to others. Thank you both so much for being here on the France 24 Culture Show.
Thank you for having us.
It's an absolute pleasure. Move on to you, Amelia. You've just put on a performance and a festival for the first time, the Unforgotten or Forgotten Women.
Women that are not forgotten.
We are not going to forget them. Tell us how you came about with this concept and what kind of music were you showcasing?
Yeah, it started really with me discovering these forgotten female composers about a year and a half ago when I was asked to put together a concert where I could only use female composers. And I thought, well, that's impossible because there aren't any, or there's not many. And then I realized that actually there's a lot, and they were just completely rewritten out of history. So one thing led to another, and in collaboration with the Mairie de Courbevoie, which is like the local mayor's office where I live just right outside of Paris, they decided to fund this festival with me. And it was 3 days of inviting musicians, not only women, but men as well, who are showcasing contemporary composers, but also female composers in the past. So that's kind of how it all started. And
well, let's take a little look at some of the elements and some of the performances we could see.
With pleasure.
Your festival really comes at on a peak time because this year we've had a lot of classical musical artists. Notably, we had the soprano singer Ren Rice who came on the show, and her recent album is about Fanny Mendelssohn, a lot of her work was credited to her brother Felix. So do you think that happened a lot? From your research and women you explored, whose careers you explored?
Yeah, I don't think it did. The problem is not just that men took credit for their female contemporaries, but just that the music was not re-edited. For example, Fanny Mendelssohn, it's so hard to find a lot of her music on public domain sites where all of Felix's music is there. So it's also about access. And I know that there are other women that are championing this concept and trying to not compose, sorry. They're trying to edit this music and make it more available to the public. So I hope that continues, and it's just, we need to represent these women.
It's not all the time very, very easy to find the right pieces. As you say, access is the point.
Exactly.
So I'm really thankful that people are taking attention to that, and that's important, yes.
Amelia, you'll be heading to Bordeaux with your trio in October.
Yes.
Any plans to take this festival on an international level, because you're American as well? Would you like to be able to do so?
So, I mean, the first, going back to the trio, we are only playing music by female composers, and our next concert is the 20th of October at the Théâtre des Quatre Saisons in Bordeaux. And what we're trying to do is not only play music by French female composers, that's how we kind of started, but we're bringing a lot of Americans in as well. And we just discovered Florence Price, Amy Beach, but even more contemporary female composers like Caroline Shaw. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's the youngest female composer to win a Pulitzer Prize. She's like 38. So we're having a lot of fun playing gospel, and we also brought in some jazz and rearranged it for cello and harp. That's our trios. So, that's been really fun. And then bringing this internationally, what I would love to do for the festival is invite an American contemporary female composer and a French contemporary female composer, have them workshop in Paris and then perform their pieces at the festival to kind of, again, bring classical music to a more modern audience and show that people our age are, dynamic and, part of the scene.
And things are going forward.
Yeah, things are going forward, but it's still classical music and it's still, there's still a tradition and a lot of work that goes into it. So.
Well, thank you both so much for coming on the show. Keep an eye out for Amelia Feuer's trio Lucia in Bordeaux, but elsewhere in the world.